Okay everyone, welcome back to Gers TV. Obviously we did say we'll be live, win, lose or draw, so that's Simon Leslie.
Simon Leslie, it's back.
I'm Gordon Bond. So
disappointing night for the Gers, I've got to say. Very disappointed in the... I don't think... I'm not really sure if I think Rangers really deserve to win the game, to be fair. I think our approach, I think we played far too deep. We gave Aberdeen too much respect. For some reason we didn't. Again, that seems to be a thing with the Rangers teams in the last 10 years. They don't realise when you're playing at Aberdeen, when you're playing at Easter Road and games like that, they don't realise that these teams are going to come out and do everything they can to fucking, I can't swear, to have a go. I said this swearing, but you get carried away now and again. They went for their cup final again, and Rangers sitting back far too deep, making changes too late in the game as well, and giving them too much respect. That's my first analysis of the game. What do you think?
It's hard to disagree with a lot of that. I think that we've actually started. You're saying about the high press. We actually the first up until the goal, we started off the high press. If you watch the game back, you'll see our forward line up really high pressing.
Yep.
And then I think we had a couple of half chances because we pressed up and we won the ball a couple of times. And then obviously the challenge with McGregor in the forward, 30 seconds later we get the goal, and after that we didn't really seem interested in scoring again.
And that's a concern, because when Aberdeen scored their goal, they went for
blood. Yeah, the difference is they smell blood because their fans, like, again, it's their cup final. They have 2 cup finals in Tawdry a year, and it's Rangers. It's quite sad, but at the same time we have to deal with that.
You have to combat that. Of course, you need to remember as well this. We're the better team, so we should be going out there and destroying teams like that. When it went to 1-0 up, I thought Rangers would have got another goal, and a 2-0 would have won the game easily. However, when you're sitting there watching it at 1-0, you know that if they equalise, it's going to be hard for Rangers. And I don't think the midfield I don't think the Rangers midfield at any time posed a major threat, and I don't think we were tough enough. Using the boy Sands that came in, I think it was maybe too big a game for him to bring him in at the start. He'd maybe be better playing Lundstrom at the start there, and it was far too late when we brought on the boy Fashion. I know that Rangers TV gave the man of the match to Alfredo Morelos, but I didn't think he was the man of the match.
No, to be perfectly honest with you, it's really hard to differentiate between the 11 who was the Rangers man of the match.
I do understand
Off the top of my head, I can't remember seeing any standout performances, and they obviously had you get the goal, which boots him up in line for man of the match. But then after that, I didn't really see Hadji doing much. We didn't create much. You know what difference? Before funnily enough, but before the break,
the forced break.
I won 7 in a row. I don't think we lost a goal in the 7 games. Flying before then the break comes in. We lose momentum, and we lose a couple of players. Our best player of the season, and he go to the African Nations Cup.
Yeah.
And we're sluggish coming back in. Now,
100%,
you need to be able to be honest in these situations and say that it was no fault tonight. Like, it wasn't. I think the manager waited too long for the subs.
100%, yeah.
And I think that we played well. We seemed to play well until we scored, and then we kind of took our foot off the gas and let them come back in. Yeah, and then, as you said, Si, as soon as they scored the first, they looked like the more. The more likely team.
They look more aggressive, and the stats prove that they were more aggressive. Your phone's up there. The other thing you need to remember as well is this was a game where Rangers really should have been going for the. If Rangers get the win tonight, you're keeping the pressure on. And at times we were sitting back, to me, looking as if a draw is no the worst result. Just with the last 10 minutes, Aberdeen had more chances than Rangers. Rangers should have been having more chances than Aberdeen. That leads me, before I go any further, I will make a comment on the referee and the refereeing performance. There's an element of Rangers supporters I've spoken about in the past who think it funny and make jokes that referees are on Rangers' side.
Well, I think tonight, anyone that thinks that after the night.
Well, there's a Rangers supporter made a banner calling one of the referees, the referee loyal, was it Bobby Madden. You've got guys calling them brothers and everything else. I don't know who these guys are, and I don't know why they do it, but tonight they must feel like fools. Surely you can see the unfair balance. That's why there was when you watch the media, and the media telling you that Rangers are getting too many penalties and that in the lead up to the game. Watching the game tonight, Rangers probably didn't deserve the win. They didn't deserve to win it. It was probably a fair result, the draw. However, my analysis of the refereeing performance is, first of all, Scott Brown should have been booked in the first half against the Morelos tackle. He wasn't booked. Because of that, the second tackle he does is a sending off offence at this point.
Yeah.
But doesn't get sent off because it's his first booking. They let him off with the Morelos one. They're spending the whole game winding up Alfie. Sadly, Morelos gets too easily drawn into these situations. You then need to look at I didn't see the penalty because it buffered on our screen, so I can't comment on that whatsoever.
It was a clear handball, and
fair enough.
it was a penalty. But then it goes back. why is our striker in the box? You know,
should be
the
halfway line.
striker should be halfway line.
Should be halfway line.
I've never understood that.
He shouldn't be in the box. But with Bufford, so I couldn't comment. If you're saying it was a penalty, that's fair enough. But then the last comment I'm going to make on the referee tonight, when you look at the consistency, they clearly targeted the Rangers players, certain players at certain times. But the sending off for Ryan Kent was a joke. When you see a guy like Scott Brown, an experienced player like that, telling you on the TV, he was showing you about his joking and gesturing, I got you sent off, I cheated.
Yeah.
That's when you realise how the games went.
It's, you know, and you know, they set out to deliberately get a player sent off, and you know, it's a couple of things for me, the referee. The Kent challenge and Brown, it was Brown diving. Okay, that should be,
yep.
You know, the compliance officer should look at that, whatever. Obviously they won't.
100%.
But that should be a ban for Brown, and Kent's was rescinded. And towards the end, Barisic, you've seen Barisic get clearly hit by Johnny Hayes in the face twice. Now, I actually don't think it was maybe like a deliberate forearm or whatever, a smash, right? Because it was two guys going for the ball. Then the linesman doesn't say anything, the referee doesn't say anything, and then Barisic got a face full of blood, and Alden get a free kick in injury time, and the referee says Barisic to go off the park.
Yeah. So how does that advantage Rangers when the player's been assaulted? Again, but your point with the sending off, my point on that is Brown should have been off the park in the first half.
Yeah, it should have been a sending off because Brown shouldn't have been there.
The challenge he's made on Morelos, keeping the leg in and trying to injure him, he's tried to take him out the whole game. Yeah. Quite clearly done it, and then to be laughing about trying to cheat a play at the end. I don't mind real hard men. As you know, I'm pals with Terry Hartlock, real proper hard men in the game. I know Richard Goff and guys like that, and these guys never acted in that way. You don't laugh about getting a player deliberately sent off. That to me, that shows you the mentality of these guys. But that mentality, we should be going to scunner them. We should be going to beat them and put them in their place. But again, it's the last thing I'm saying. It this element of Rangers fans, I think it's funny making jokes about the referees all benefit Rangers. They don't. That shows you again that there's a bias against Rangers to an extent where the referee tonight, he made clear decisions that benefited the Aberdeen team, in my opinion.
Yeah, but again, I've said it, even when we get decisions, whatever, that are clear penalties for us, the bottom line is, it's only my opinion, the bottom line is we weren't good enough tonight.
No, we weren't good enough.
Irrespective of how good or bad the referee is, irrespective of other players cheating or whatever, then it's up to us to take the game. It's up to us being top of the league, take the game to a club that's 5th or 6th, and put a stamp over it and play to our strengths, which unfortunately for me we didn't do tonight. But
I agree with you.
Let's see what.
I agree with 100%.
Let's see what you guys are saying.
There's loads of comments on the referee. That's why I made I had to chat about it. I don't want to spend any blame. The biggest problem we had is we never took the game to Aberdeen. We never done the high press, and we never played the way that we played before the Celtic. What do you want to call them, Celtic?
Ex-players basically got a player sent off, and I'm
talking about the Celtic got the postponement and the Celtic winner shutdown, as you would call it. Right, so we've got Mark done it. Well, that was rubbish. Right, the point.
Couple of points saying it's garbage and rubbish. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
When did Clancy sign for the Sheep?
Yeah.
Everybody's seen that performance tonight. Poor performance from the ref and Rangers. We move on, 4 points clear. We make it a win at the Shark even better. Rangers are still the best team in Scottish football. What if I doubt you know that. Brown is the biggest in football. Fact.
That's hard to
disagree.
Hard to argue that, Sean. Yeah.
Hard to disagree. I even think he faces himself later on what doing that. I just think it's unprofessional to the high.
Yeah, I think it's not somebody that portrays themselves in a high manner on the football park.
No, when you're not hard enough to hit a player, but you're going to cheat to get him sent off. It's pretty unprofessional.
When you try to come across as a hard man and you have to blow yourself to basically to cheating.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say I would go to a level as with Celtic players for the past who would watch that, who would class themselves hard men, would be embarrassed watching a guy like that who classes himself as a legend. Players like Morelos should know by now not to bite. Correct, Terry, 100%. What I said, watching the game, I said Morelos is going to do something silly. You just knew he would do something silly to score, but he looked as if he took a bait. They wound him up so easily, and he fell for it. We're missing Joey Aribo this morning. Not enough creativity in the midfield, 100%. It shows you how good a player Aribo is when he's no playing. I thought Kamara would have stepped up, but Kamara was playing deep, so it's hard to.
Yeah, I think tonight that Gio deliberately played two kind of like defensive midfielders, like with Sands and Kamara, Kamara, and then relied on Hadji to be creative. And you know, Hadji got the goal, good goal, don't get me wrong.
It was a great counter attack.
Right thing to Kent, great ball in, Hadji good run, good finish. But then that was from. That's apart from Morelos' volley in the last 5 minutes. That's the only other clear chance I can see.
But very rarely looked like scoring at any time after the goal, and I wasn't excited watching. What I thought when the boy Fashion came on, there was only minutes to go. He did look dangerous, but at that point you're saying there's minutes and it's far too late. Pure performance, sat too deep, 100%. William Hutchinson. Never a sending off for Kent. This is Sean Kemp. Never a sending off for Kent. Johnny Hayes instant he's looked at again and as a deliberate double elbow.
Yeah, that's the point I was alluding to a wee minute ago when I was talking about Barisic getting hit in the face. They seem to get hit twice, and then the referee actually punished Rangers by sending Barisic off to get treated for his blood. And then that was the point I needed a free kick where they obviously we did a defender off the park down at 9 minutes at that point. So strange. Andrew Harstein saying watching all the way from Montgomery in Alabama. Okay, so as Scott Arfield would say, God bless America.
And Canada and Duke Street.
And Duke Street, yeah. Sean Kemp, again, badly missed Aribo.
100%.
Mark Dunnett, the referee, sacked. Again, referees don't seem to get sacked, don't seem to get in trouble.
The thing about it, I see the Morris papers that no mention the referee, right? Let's be honest, this will not be a big thing. There's a big massive rant here I've got here. I don't know, this is just
We'll try and paraphrase it a little bit, we'll do it.
Because there's loads in this. Ali Robinson's probably a good point, but there's millions in it.
So first point basically saying Brown gets away with murder against Rangers.
Correct.
For Aberdeen twice this season. He's saying hello, he says we're the people, which we agree with obviously, good friends around the world, do not forget we're the people. For Queen Country, Ulster Scots, Prentice Boys, so forth. And he's basically saying, for want of a better phrase, he's basically saying hi to all his friends around the world and we will never be defeated.
You'll get a chance to read it. It's a big massive part there, well done, but it's just too much, we've not got enough time to do it all.
Rio Hughes, ref was shocking. Kenny shouldn't have got a second yellow card. Yeah, absolutely right. You can't really argue with that at all. Terry Monroe, a couple of comments about the referee Ken. It was never, if you watch it back, he doesn't touch him, and Brown goes down and clutches his knee.
Shameful. Shameful is probably
shameful. The term.
Yep. Let's be honest here. Only the man of match was says. I hate to say it, but it's true.
Oh, well, if you hate to say it, then
you didn't really say it. I didn't think he's.
You don't necessarily have to say it.
But if that's your opinion, that's
what you're. We welcome all views. So if that's your opinion, that's absolutely.
We never turned up the second half. I agree with that. But I don't know if we turned up in some of the first half either. I don't
turned up for the first 20 minutes.
Every Rangers supporter that was on this show, everybody that travelled up now, it's a massive game. The players didn't seem to realise it. Again, I think that boy Sands, bringing him on, playing him on a debut in a game like this, without even experiencing Scottish football, it's a hard call. I don't know if it's the right decision. 100% meant by Hayes. Again, that's on the television. People can view that and see it.
Yeah.
And just say it's an assault.
I'll listen. I'll be waiting with bated breath for the media outcry tomorrow about it. A couple of comments here. Graham, horrendous performance tonight. Nobody looked remotely interested. It's a bad day when midfield's overrun by Aberdeen. Chris saying Scott Brown and Johnny Hayes are cheating scumbags. Again, hard to disagree with.
Lindsay Taylor's made a really good point I need to make here as well, right? The fact that they scored the goal is fair enough. However, there's certain rules with penalty kicks now. Because it was buffered, we swapped on the channel and Andy Walker was boasting about the fact the ball was moving. The ball was moving when he took the penalty kick. That's against the rules of the game.
Yeah, Andy Walker actually said, if I remember correctly, Andy Walker used that words at the time where Lewis Ferguson had to really concentrate because the ball was moving so much. Now
the ball's not allowed to move. Lindsay's right, I'll just read her comment out because she's posted it. Since when is it okay to take a penalty when the ball is rolling a mile? Okay, would have been retaken if he hadn't scored. 100%, Lindsay. You cannot take when you take a penalty kick, the ball's got to be stationary at all times. Again, the referee's seen that. Clancy, I don't know why we've got an element of Rangers fans that want to celebrate these guys and joke about it. That's why we're never going to get anywhere. The club should be highlighting this. The ball was moving when he took it. He would have probably scored if he took the retake. However, you cannot.
No, you never know.
Aye, but what I'm saying is the lower averages he probably would have. However, you can't take a penalty kick when the ball's moving. He took a penalty kick and the ball was moving. It's an illegal penalty kick.
Yeah, and for a commentator to be, for all intents and purposes, joking about it. You know, if that was, you know, always go back to, if that was a penalty for Rangers and Tavernier or Barisic or Morelos, that
would have been reshown on the screen about 30, 40 times. The ball's moving.
An outcry.
Aye, I don't know why we get this comment here. Get the big boy pants on and move on. Still
basically what you're saying is, you know, these things happen, get on with it, and yeah, of course.
We've still got to chat about it. We say we've got to chat about it, win, lose or draw. We can't. We can't no chat about it because we get beat and we're not got the big boy pants on.
Aye. So that's what we said. Simon and I have both said. Let's be honest and say we weren't good enough tonight.
Yeah. So why was Brown not booked with the reaction with Kent? Again, we don't know this. The referee clearly was it. The referee was a better view than any of us, and these decisions weren't made. I don't understand them at all. Kent was rotten, but he didn't deserve any cards. I wouldn't say so much as rotten, but he wasn't great. I would agree with that.
I think that, you know, for a bit of balance, he probably did deserve the first yellow card, but the first yellow card was stupid. You shouldn't get yourself involved in situations like that. But the second card's a no-brainer. Like, he was done, he was cheated. Yeah,
Scott Brown disgraced his profession. Honestly, Sinky, 100%, mate. You don't mind a better player, you don't mind somebody who's a hard player, you don't mind somebody where you take your half and you say, you know what, we didn't deserve a result or whatever. But see, when you watch a guy like that, anti-football, when you talk about this stuff about Celtic Way and all that, who was brought up playing with most of his career, that's not football. That's out and out cheating when you're getting a guy sent off and then you're caught on the camera telling the guy, I got you sent off. That for me, I couldn't celebrate it if it was my club. Disgusting. I agree with 100%.
Gordon Wright saying Rangers need to pay the money and get Suter in just now. Our defence is shocking. I think I mean we lost a goal. The first time we've lost a goal in 7 games, 8 games. So again, a tiny bit of perspective. But I
understand that, but at the same time, that's a good point for them.
Yeah,
I think we should be haggling, which I think the ball we did to get him in. And if the boy can add quality, he might be right.
And if we get an injury, then we need to cover as well. So yeah, I agree that it should be brought in now. I don't think. I mean, I would say that up until Gio came in, our defence was very poor. I think they have got a lot better in the last few weeks.
So there's obviously been we've obviously missed it because we've started here. Gio's obviously spoken about the game and he's seen it's not good enough. I do understand that. We've seen it's not good enough. However, I think that and he's done a great job, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, since he came to the club. But I think he made his subs too late tonight. I think he should have brought in Fashion a lot earlier.
Yeah. And
I would have maybe gave Itner a run at one point. And I wouldn't have. Scott Wright to me is as an impact player. I wouldn't be starting the game.
I don't think like Itten. I feel a bit sorry for Itten because how's a guy supposed to come on? 10 men. Your creative players have been took off.
Was it 2 minutes to go?
2 minutes to go.
And plus 4.
Your creative player's been taken off. Your other creative player's been sent off, and you're coming on as a striker. And I just, I think that if you're going to make a sub in the last couple of minutes, it has to be for an impact player, or it has to be something. Maybe you're winning 2 or 3-0. I don't know what Itten's supposed to do in the last 2 minutes of a game like that.
Yeah, 100%. The boy Mark Aiken's saying this a few times about the Rangers manager says we blame the ref. We blame not the ref.
We don't blame the ref. So what he's saying
is that we don't blame the ref.
G's obviously come out and said it's not down to the ref, it's down to us.
No doubt. Rangers. My point about the referees was people were commenting on it. It was a terrible performance from the referee, but Rangers were lacklustre at all times. Lindsay Taylor, the rules are that the ball has to be still end of. Agree with 100%. Yep. Same as the rules stood for the
guys.
Works both ways. 100% agree with you.
Yeah, Lindsay, absolutely right. Again, the rules are the rules. I should be saying for anybody. Just going to say, if anybody wants to call in, don't forget you can call in with your views.
Calls. It's 01413195230. All we need is the last 3 digits. I better check about the calls turned on actually. You do that.
Please do.
You got to talk out the comments.
So a couple of comments again.
Thank you, my man. I think I've turned that.
Scotland right. So Terry Monroe, 7 points clear next Wednesday. Beat the Puddle Drinkers, 10 points clear. Yeah, I mean, well.
There's no panic stations or anything.
I know. If you
call it how it is.
In the grand scheme of things, a draw away from home against Aberdeen in the course of this season is not a disaster. It's not going to be panic stations. However, it's just it goes back to the fact that the break's worked out for a certain team and it's broke up our momentum. But we've got a game against Stirling Albion on Friday night, which we can get back on track, and then obviously we've got Livingston next Wednesday. So you know, it's plenty of opportunity for us to get back on track. And yeah, absolutely, Terry, we can be 7 points clear by next Wednesday. I believe Celtic's next game is Hearts away. And Hearts won tonight as well, so they're in decent form. And yes, there's nothing to worry about. You know, we're still top, we're still 4 points clear. You know, Gio's come in, played 8, won 7 and draw 1. If for the rest of the season we go on that, we have that form for the rest of the season. 56 is ours, so absolutely fine. Lindsay Taylor again, to take the pace off right and replace him with Lundstrom was woeful, wrong decision. Yeah, it seemed a bit.
I said that. Yeah. I did say take off right, but I didn't. I wouldn't have replaced him with Lundstrom.
I think we were looking at that point when he came off to put on. When he came on to take off
Sands. We should have brought in Fashion at that point and wait for the win. Right, we're going to open up the call line, guys. Here, so give us a wee second.
So if anybody wants to phone in, numbers on the screen.
That's us now taking calls.
Okay, so if you want to phone in and speak to us, please do.
Right, guys, I'm going to, before I come back here, I'm going to let you know about the website that we've got up and running, guys. Quickly, this is our new website. It's www.thegers.tv, and that'll give you all the information of the plans that we've got in the future and any latest news on the famous Glasgow Rangers. So here's the website here.
So guys, this has just been launched in the last few days. We're really excited about it. Again, it's all part of the plan to take the Gers TV forward and to make Gers TV the only Rangers media that you want to watch. However, we do respect the fact there's others out there. So please have a look at our website. We're going to have some fantastic events coming up over the next few months as well. We don't want to say too much too soon, but they're going to be absolutely fantastic. So keep an eye on the website and the channel for that. And also you'll notice there's a Patreon site as well which we're launching, which Simon's just about to show us as well.
And that's a Patreon site coming up here as well. Carol is just going to come on. I'm going to get Carol in a second. Carol, mate, how you doing?
Hi Carol.
Hi Carol. Trying to hear him, hold on a minute.
Some interference
Check
there.
if I've got the volume turned on here. Carol.
Carol.
Don't know if I answered, I can't hear you at all, mate.
Okay. Carol, if you can hear us, phone us back.
How you doing, mate? Carol? Carol?
Carol?
Can't hear him at all now.
No, it sounds like from his end, it sounds like there's kind of interference with his reception or something.
Give us a wee call back, mate.
Give us a wee call back, Carol, if you can.
Anyway, guys, that's our Patreon site for anybody that doesn't know. We've got a Patreon site. Gordon, you want to explain it quickly?
Yep, so basically what we're looking for, we are, as we said, alluded to a minute ago, we are looking to grow the Gers TV. It's your channel, it's your show. What we want to do is grow it as best we can, but some new content and get some new things. So if you want to help us and support us on the journey, please do. On the website, you'll find a link to our Patreon site. If you could subscribe £3 a month is all we're asking, and we'd appreciate it, and it would help grow the Gers TV and make it more of your show. So
and if you're doing that, the first 100 people to become a Patreon will get the following gift. If I can find it here, it's a lovely picture of Mr. Billstruth. Carol, can you hear us, mate?
Oh, he's hung up again. So everyone, on the screen in front of you right now, you'll see a picture of legendary Billstruth in his army uniform, which, you know, up until I've seen this, I'd never seen this picture before. So this is this is an exclusive gift. So if you become one of our first Patreon,
is that you there?
Yeah, Carol, just be a second there, Carol. If you become one of our first Patreon members, you'll receive this as a free gift for joining. And
I can't hear the hang.
Okay.
Aye, can you hear us now, Carol?
I can hear you, aye, but Gordon's talking through us.
Okay, just 1 second, Carol.
We'll speak to you in a wee second, mate. Give 2 seconds.
No problem.
Go onto our website, www.thegers.tv, check our Patreon link, and if you subscribe to the Patreon to be one of our first supporters, you'll receive this exclusive, absolutely fantastic Billstruth portrait and picture. So,
and also access to tickets for
and
events.
Also, we have some fantastic exclusive events coming up. The first 50 members will have exclusive access to tickets before we release them to anyone else. So please get involved. Carol, how you doing?
Carol, how you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm doing all right, Si. That was disgusting tonight. I mean,
Why?
It was bad.
Okay, in what way?
In what way? The team performance.
Yep.
Look, we have been suckered in for years with Scott Brown.
Absolutely.
Don't get us wrong. We have been suckered in this for years. So is the whole Scottish football.
Yep.
You know. Right, the other thing I wanted to say, I've been listening to all the podcasts for 7 weeks. Geo this, Geo that, Geo tweaks, Geo does, Geo jizz, Geo does. Don't get suckered into a manager. We're a stepping stone for now on. The team performance was abysmal. The substitutions were far too late.
Yeah,
And as I say, it's just not good enough.
Yeah,
It was not a good enough performance.
Yeah, totally agree. It's hard to disagree with any of that, Carol, mate. What I've always said is, we give the managers and players credit when they deserve it, but at the same time, to quote one of our earlier comments, you need to put the big boy pants on and give criticism when it's due as well. I don't think we seemed to be up for the first 20 minutes today, but after that we fell out of the game, and you're right, the subs, didn't come quick enough, and we fell out of the game.
Carol, the point I was making earlier, right, is I don't understand why so many Rangers managers make this mistake. They don't understand when they go to Pittodrie, this is their cup final, they're going to do everything they can to beat us. We're sitting playing it at a low tempo and they're playing it as if their life depends on it.
I don't understand it, Si. I don't understand. The boy Sands, I don't think he should have been put in tonight. He did no bad, put it that way, getting his tackles and that. Kamara was off the pace completely, and you can't complain about Hadji no doing anything when there's not a ball coming through.
True, yeah, listen,
You know what I mean? You've got to have ammunition before you can fire.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The midfield was non-existent, I think, at most of the game.
Yeah, if he's not getting help from Kamara and Sands below him or and behind him, then you're right. It's hard for him to come into the game. So it's a good point. Yeah.
And the other thing is, you bring on John Lundstrom when we should be trying to win a game.
That was a strange one.
I feel I don't really want to get down the road of picking on a player, but I don't really see what John Lundstrom brings to the Rangers team. If I'm being honest, I think they brought him on for a bit of dig. When I think we should have been bringing on flair, and I think we should have been
He didn't even dig.
Pace.
He didn't dig,
yeah,
No, I'm not saying he did dig. I'm saying I think we brought him on for that. I think they see him as that kind of player. I don't see it. Carol, I don't see it
at all. I don't see it at all, Si. And by the way, earlier on in the show, you says you can't swear. Aye, you can. I heard you.
I know, I done it. I was a bit angry.
Unfortunately, Carol, sometimes the odd one does slip through. We try not to, though, because we understand.
And the other thing you said in the earlier show, the Jerry Derry, I'm the only one left of the Jerry Derry. That was my sign, my club, no the rest of the Jerrys.
I met a few of them in the different trips. I remember meeting them at the Juventus game, I'm sure.
It's always good, Si, to hear that there's still Germans supporting Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, aye.
Even my father hated him when he was in the Luftwaffe. He hated that mob.
on that note, hampered the win tonight in the end. It was a cup game and they beat FC Cologne on penalties. So
that's good.
That's a good result for them away from home. So,
what did you, Carol? What did you make of the sending off?
Sending off? It was never a sending off. It was never even a foul. Come on, don't be daft. But the guy's done it to us for years.
Constantly.
And he gets the praise for it. Like it's sickening that this is the guy that's lauded by the media for being a legend and whatnot.
They make him out to be a hero. That's right. They make him out to be a hero for what he does.
Nothing short of a cheat. But I don't want to spend the night talking about Scott Brown. But as an incident, obviously. But the facts of it is it's a laugh, it's a joke for him. He'll get credited for it. I know tomorrow on your mainstream media, it'll be a phone in and say he was clever, he was experienced, he done it. You get Manella doing something like that, and he's chased out the game.
He's in our heads. He's in our heads. We can't get rid of it.
Well, the thing about it is, a game like this, 1-0 to Rangers, you bury them and you finish the game off. You don't sit back, especially when you're watching when 50-50 decisions are going against you. Your midfield isn't at its best. Any chance you've got of finishing the game off, you go for it. And then we're defending corner kicks and our strikers are in the box. That's not, to me, you finish teams off, and if you went 2-0 up, the game is finished.
Yeah, that's right. Second goals are done, but we didn't do it. And I'll tell you the next thing, Si. I'm going to sound negative here. Don't you think we should sign a treatment table?
Well, I was actually going to mention this, right? I don't understand this why and I don't mean Ben Bronckhorst here, I mean every Rangers manager I can remember, right down to the soonest days. I remember Jock Wallace, but as a wee boy at him. Since then, I don't remember it was Jock Wallace, but every manager for soonest onwards, we seem to get injuries for no reason. We've had a 3-week break, and yet we've got all these injuries, and I don't know how they could be injured.
I don't know if you heard the comments before the game, Carol, about Gio Van Bronckhorst actually literally said, as a point Rich has made to me, that he has had 3 weeks to work with the squad on things. Now, it didn't come across that way in the game tonight.
I don't understand it. We've got injuries. Look, we're talking about clearing the books off for wages. I loved Ryan Jack, but he's done. Could you trust him to go through 10 minutes of a game anymore?
I think
or Kamar Roof?
Well, I'll take the two of them on their merits. The problem I've got with Ryan Jack, I do like him, I think he's a good player and everything else. It seems to be made of glass, and he's picked Scotland over Rangers a few times when I've said he can't do that decision anymore. He can't play that many games, and every time he's played for Scotland he's got injured. We pay his wages.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We pay his wages, no Scotland. Scotland might pay him something, but they don't pay him anything like Rangers do. He's paid to be the Rangers.
Before he got in, well, when he got injured the last time, he'd been playing for Scotland, and Gerrard was kicking up stink because he got made play day 2 training sessions. Now, that says it all to me. You know, you should never take especially Scotland, because we're not worth it. It's all right saying Nathan Patterson that he's through the Scottish squad. We've given players away. Tavernier's on 5 bookings now.
Well, to be fair, the booking tonight, I thought the booking tonight was a bit unfair. I thought
it doesn't matter, you can't appeal a booking.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I don't think that the booking tonight was fair. And I know exactly what you're thinking there. What happens if Tavernier's no playing? Who backs him up? I get
Exactly.
No, a lot of good points.
Look, I'm going to go, as I says, I'll phone you up. I've got your number down your the Gers TV.
Yeah, so it's www.thegers.tv.
What do you call it? Patreon. I'll be doing that. I'll be up to see you soon. Gordon, I didn't know you could talk as much as you do.
I've been since I seen you a few weeks ago, Carol, I didn't get a word of interviews with you and your missus, so I've been saving it up.
Right, you little... When's the Tangerine one coming back on?
Sandra, she couldn't make it tonight. Sandra will be back on next week. She just had a bit of family commitment, she couldn't make
I want to say something to her about the Legends things about getting the bottle of gin. I would have to do it, you know, because I don't know how to work computers and that.
Aye,
Sandra
will be back next week anyway. She might be on one of the... We're going to do a Zoom meeting with one of the Rangers supporters clubs through the week as well.
Aye. Just remember, we are the people. Am I allowed to say 3 letters on here? Like... Right, I'll see you later. Bye, lads.
All the best,
have a good night.
Disappointed. Carol's disappointed. I take on board what he's saying there 100%. I don't like getting down the road of blaming players that are not playing on the park tonight, though, with the Ryan Jack one, but he has got a good point. Is Ryan Jack ever going to be fully fit again? A couple of people, somebody's asked me, Scott McMantia, can you put up the link site?
I've just done it.
Have you done it? Is it the link for the website?
Yeah, I've just put in the link for the website, so if you click on the website, you'll see across the top in white a link to our Patreon site. Remember, if you become one of the first people to subscribe, £3 a month is not a lot.
Yep.
You know, you very rarely get a coffee for that these days. And for that, you'll get an exclusive Bill Struth picture. And on top of that as well, when we host our fantastic events coming up, the members of Patreon will get exclusive access to tickets first of all, and only after the Patreon members have a chance to get them, we will then release them to anyone else. So
correct, I'm just going to pass this on again, the picture of the Bill Struth. It's a beauty. I've got it up here in my wee studio. Guys, if anybody's phoning in, I need the last 3 digits. I've not got the last 3 digits of the person calling now. If you give me the last 3 digits, you can certainly phone in. That's a picture of Bill Struth. The first 100 people to join my Patreons will be getting one of these pictures sent out to them. First class pictures of Bill Struth when he was a member of the military, and I believe he was at Barley Houston Hospital Department. I don't know the actual term of it, but we've got a lot of big events going to be coming up in the next 6 months. Probably more over the year, but in the last, God knows, I've spent 3 weeks organising a lot of stuff. They're going to be getting public in the next couple of days as soon as I can tick the boxes for them, and anybody who's a patron will get the first dabs on the tickets. two of the events so far are in Scotland, one of them's abroad, and there'll be more events. But if you're a patron, you'll get a picture, and you'll also get the first dabs on any events that we do in the future. Right. Can't run every game, it's impossible. We get that, Laura, it's a good point. Lindsay said a minute ago she would love to call the show, but I can't remember the term that she used, but it might ring in one day, but not tonight. I'm two raging women on the rampage.
Well,
we like angry women, Lindsay. We like angry
Lindsay,
women.
if you are angry, come in, phone us and tell us why you're angry.
Andy Lockhard's going to make a point here. I didn't want to make this point because I agree with 100%. I didn't want to think about it. The winter break momentum again. We were doing absolutely fantastic. It's happened before, and then the winter break comes in. This one was a forced one because Celtic didn't want to play, so Celtic got to force the winter break. However, he goes on to say, when Gio came in, I always thought there would be a change of drop, a change of drop points during transition. Things going better than I expected, all things considered. It is a good. I think what he's basically saying there is that Aberdeen away is probably one of the places that you're most of the biggest surprise of losing the points on. On the win tour on January the 9th, this is Kenneth Young. A draw away from to the Sheep isn't the worst result. I'm disappointed with the display, but it could have been a lot worse. We take it forward and move on. I don't disagree with that in any way. However, the way Rangers have played in the last couple of months, the fact that we didn't lose many goals, we lost 2 goals and then we lost one tonight, apparently, I think we just expected that we should have been up there and won.
Yeah.
But that is a good point. Kenneth Young, I think we were light in midfield tonight. You took it off because you said you talk too much.
No, just a couple of messages for Ian and Corey, what you had Corey McNeely.
Yeah.
If it's absolutely fine. I appreciate the comments, mate, and it's good to hear from you. Go onto our website and go onto our Patreon and but support us. Aye,
and that's the big thing for the head for us. People were paying money to Facebook, we didn't know anything about it, and then one day I went on and found out there's this thing asking us, people were sending money in, and it was going to Facebook, the Zurenberg and things like that, and we didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So we've cancelled that, and what we're trying to do, we've got big plans ahead. You'll find out in the next couple of weeks some of the events we're doing. Without blowing main trumpet here, they're going to be big events.
They're going to be absolutely fantastic, so keep your eyes peeled for it. But again, guys, can't stress enough, our Patreon members not only to get the fantastic Bill Struth picture, but they also get the first dibs on these events coming up. So
yeah, so it's just we want to make sure that people that are loyal as we're loyal back to them.
Yep.
But there's loads of plans for the 150th anniversary that we'll be getting involved in, and if you've got any, let us know. A couple of people are trying to phone in, but we don't take calls if we don't have your number. All we need is your last 3 digits. We don't need all your numbers.
Yeah.
We just need, if you don't use the last 3 digits, you could be somebody else's, if you know what I'm talking about. You might have went to ring school, so you'll know.
Guys, all we ask you to do in the comments box on the Facebook page, write a comment in, just literally have your name and then just write in your last 3 numbers, whatever they are, and then we'll be able to reference that so we can answer the phone.
Lindsay Taylor's on a rant tonight, but I'm agreeing with a lot of what she's saying, so I'm going to read this out. Hold on, there's Callum. I'm just going to get you in a wee minute, mate. Yeah, we've all had bad days at work. The team were beyond bad. I agree with that. At times we really didn't look like the Rangers team I've watched this season. We had 0 midfield. I agree with that. Badly missed Aribo. Again, but there's not much we can do with Aribo, one because he's at the African Nations, but he was a massive miss tonight. One man doesn't make a team, shouldn't make a team, but it seemed to be, so can't use that. Barisic non-existent. They were all shocking tonight, but Celtic have a hard game at Tynecastle, and we go on and forget it. Well, fair enough. Aberdeen are going nowhere and never. It's always their cup final.
That's Corey McNeely phone in 975.
Alright, okay, so if you want to call that back, do you know Corey?
Yeah.
Are you saying as if I know who it is? Right, so if you call that one back, Corey, we didn't know who you were. Give us a call, mate. Now I know who it is, and we'll get you on. You've made a point here on the, but I'll not bother about the point because if you're going to phone, you probably want to make it again. Nice to see Gordon talking out his mouth. Ian Whitehead, I don't know if you know Ian, I know.
I'm aware of Ian.
Good blue nose, good guy.
That's behind there.
But he's right about you.
I don't think he is.
Hi, how you doing, Corey?
Hello.
Hi there, my name's Lom. Peter.
It's really hard to hear you, mate. Are you in a bad signal area?
What's on, mate?
I can't, can you hear?
No, sorry, what's
Can
the
you
name,
hear
mate?
My name's Lawrence.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me? My name's Lawrence.
Alright, yeah.
and I'm pretty disappointed with a player's performance tonight, to be fair. I want to get your opinion on that Sands boy. I felt like he was good and all, but he definitely lacked the hunger to play for Rangers.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, he's come in. Obviously, he's been brought off in the MLS for New York. He's been thrown right into the deep end. Before the game, we were saying good opportunity, but he had a couple of nice touches. But I think the game did pass him by.
Yeah, 100%. Great point.
I also kind of felt that the Kent sending off was an absolute travesty, but it's the first. It just shows how bad this Rangers team is without Joe Aribo being in the squad. It's quite worrying, actually.
Yeah,
That's
literally nothing.
Yeah, it's another good point, mate.
That's a good point.
Aribo, you know, I've said this before on the show. Last season, I wasn't totally convinced with Aribo, to be perfectly honest. However, this season's been our best player by far, and you're right, we've missed him absolutely.
Yeah, it's just one of the things where the game's getting changed, and the way that Celtic got the league changed, that Aribo can't play in a game like that. However, you've just got to accept it. It's a bit of a put in the stones, but what do we do about it?
Yeah.
I just feel there's not very many times you'll watch Rangers go to Aberdeen and play that bad.
I agree.
It's been a stomping ground the last few seasons, to be fair.
I mean, we had to do a show after it. Do you know what I mean? We were sitting going, we've got to go back and do a show now after watching it. I feel as bad as you do. It really was hard to watch at times.
I feel it's embarrassing to be second best to Aberdeen. I've seen it 6 to 11 men behind the ball. Like, see if you're ever second best to that kind of team and you're Rangers. Borderline embarrassment, and it's making me question Gio a wee bit.
Well, it's his first bad result, I would say, and it's going to be
First tough game though as well.
Yeah.
When you're probably looking at all aspects involved, that's his first real challenge as a manager. It looks like he set up the team wrong. You can count on the same problems that Steven Gerrard had at the start of the season when Aribo was injured or wasn't playing as regular.
Yeah, that's a good point again. Yeah.
That's a good point.
We have got a lack of creativity coming from the midfield. I feel we don't take chances without Joe Aribo. I think the way Gio has done it, he's converted Kamara into the Davis role. Again, I don't know why Kamara's so good box to box. There's a lot of issues going on right now, but I'm not really sure I can be 100% behind them. What's your boys thinking of it?
I'll go first with that one.
Yeah.
I agree with you with the Kamara man. We were talking watching the game minute about it. I don't like the way they've changed Kamara's positioning, because we know how good he's a good player. Right, let's not go down the road. We know he's a good player. I don't like the position he's in. I think he's one of the ones where the manager will say he had a great game because he done what I told him to do. However, we're losing a great player out of him, and I don't think that's a position for him. The other thing I would say is there was talk at the time when Gio came in about getting a Scottish influence to help him. Somebody like Neil McCann, somebody that would understand.
Maybe Kevin Thompson.
Or Kevin Thompson, I would say Neil McCann. But anyway, somebody that would know how Aberdeen's going to come out and play against Rangers, what they're going to be like, and we didn't bring that in, and I think that was a mistake. I think we should have had somebody that understands the game and Scottish football to help him. But we've not done that, so I kind of agree with a lot of your points here, but it's early doors to judge the manager.
I think that if you look back, the game before Gio came in, we get beat by Hibs in the semi-final at Hampden 3-1, where we played absolutely terrible, and our defence was shaky. So overall, he's played 8, won 7 and drawn 1. So let's not hit the panic button, just yet. However, I do think you're right what you're saying. We set out to draw. After we scored the goal, we set out not to lose a goal.
I said that 8 times, and that's not the way to do it.
Absolutely not. So a lot of good points, yeah.
I do see it as we put ourselves in a real bad position going into next week, only than 4 points clear. Celtic, watching them a little bit last night. The highlights the signings they've made are making a difference, and I feel Rangers really need to get into the market. Especially, we can't be sitting on. If we all obviously know as Rangers fans that if the club do not secure Champions League football this year, there will be financial implications of the club, and players will be sold. Which we would like to try and stop and keep a hold of our best players. But if we were to come second in the league and allow Celtic the Champions League qualification, I feel that is a nightmare for Rangers. Because it doesn't work well for us in any sense of the word, in my opinion. Anyway, I think we're running a big risk here.
Yeah, I get that. What I would say on that is, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. What I would say is, I don't think we need too many players. I just think we need, if Aribo's out, we need another flair player. And I'd like to see if we're going to, both the boys suit, we're going to get him in the season. I would just get him in the new I would bite the bullet and tighten up the defence. I don't like to have a player in the goals, and I'm not picking on them right, but I don't like to have players in the team that don't want to be there. But I wouldn't go for too many players, but I would definitely, even if it's the boy Olsen that they want, go out and get him. But if they've got to get that fair player in, we'll need to get him.
Yeah, I don't. Let's not mess about. We've got a lot at stake. We're still 4 points clear. I'll be at Aberdeen. It's not the end of the world. It's disappointing. It's poor performance. It's not the end of the world.
We can't be allowing them across the road to start the rain competition of squad games, and we're landing one American in a window where it is crucial. They've just signed somebody that scored more goals than Kyogo last year, and it's worrying to think if he hits the ground half as quick as Kyogo, what that could mean for Rangers, and we've only really got Morelos.
Yeah. No, a lot of good points, mate.
But I want to continue on with the stream, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to check out our website, mate. www.thegers.tv.
What's your name again, just so I can add you to the list? Warren.
Lawrence, mate. My name's Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Excellent. Good to hear from you, Lawrence. Please
perfect,
call
mate.
again.
Great call, mate. A lot of good points. A lot of good stuff to talk about as well. All the best.
We are the people. Fuck the folk.
No swearing.
Well, no swearing and no comments like that. It's obviously we try to maintain. Well, we unfortunately we've got no control over that. Okay, so if anyone took offence for that, we apologise.
And we hope the Pope doesn't phone and start complaining.
I wouldn't be the first time.
Aye. Listen. Anyway, we move on. We just ask people that it's a family show to
respect that. Yeah.
What we do in the pub is not what we do in the...
William Wright, bring your show to Vancouver. I've been to Vancouver Island. I've been fishing off Vancouver Island myself when I was younger.
William, there's a lot of plans you'll hear soon that we're going to be going outside of the UK to do an event very soon. But again, if we can, there's a possibility of 2 events actually abroad, but one of them's confirmed and the other one isn't. We're just working on the graphics for it. But if we can ever go to Canada, it'd be fantastic. I've never been. I'd love to
I've been to Toronto, been to Vancouver, been to Calgary, relatives over there. Absolutely the most beautiful country in the world. So I'm all in favour of
who's this one here? 36 is that
there? Don't know. We've not had.
What's the number?
Gers right. 360. Yeah.
We've got one. Sorry, my eyesight's getting worse. I'm getting old.
Hello,
George.
Hi there.
How you doing, George?
I'm alright, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
You've got to grin and bear it, and you win, lose or draw. You've got to accept the fact that we don't always win.
Aye, listen. One of the things I was looking into, and it's just I think we can all agree we've got probably the best and biggest squad in the country.
Yeah.
But when you've seen what's actually, I think we were stripped to the bones in midfield today, and if you look to see what was actually missing, the 4 players I had in mind, they would probably play most of the week. We had the wee general that was missing, wee Davis, we had Aribo missing, Arfield missing, and Jack missing. Not only that, we had the best defenders. Do you know what I mean? So it's no excuses, but if any other team in that league could cope with any kind of injuries, when it's probably 4 at least out of 5 of them are first team players, Listen, there's mitigating circumstances every time you draw games. That's or lose games. That's just a fact of life. We're not going to win every game. I'm just a bit disappointed the way they're all that, but known in the last couple of weeks that we didn't put this to bed tonight. I thought we were far too negative. Personally, I thought the game bypassed Sands, and also I think if you're having a bad performance, there's got to be consequences to that performance. I.e., you still can't be on the park. From my point of view, everybody sees a game different. I thought Kent was atrocious tonight, and I don't think he should have been on the park to be actually sent off anyway. I don't think, apart from obviously the assist, I don't think he really brought much to the game. And my worry is, on that side, if he's not performing, that's where I think we need somebody in there, whereas there's no consequence to him not performing because we don't really have a backup for that.
I think, the disappointing thing is we've got players out that can make a difference. So, as I say, we've covered it. We've got, as you said, mate, we've got, it's weird that we've got 4 centre midfielders out injured. I mean,
why injured? That's what the
I don't know.
I'm the same. I don't get what kind of training we were doing that were injured. Did they get injured at training?
I think we're an awful team, and I don't know if it's science nowadays or the way the medical staff look at players, but we're an awful team that we always seem to bring players back a wee bit, I don't know, too long, and they should have been. For me, I don't think Jack is personally finished. if you look at Jack's record when he actually plays for Rangers, I don't think we've ever been beat. If we have, it's maybe once.
I don't think Jack's finished at all. But I know the last call. I think it was maybe Carroll who said Jack's maybe finished. I don't agree with that. I think he's going through a bit of a bad time when he come back.
I think we played the night as if we were playing in Europe. That would have been a great result if we came away one each. Try to hold a 1-0 then. But we're playing Aberdeen. We are the champions of this country by a mile. We are the best team in this country. I think my main worry is I was convinced before the break that we would murder Celtic. Excuse the wording, but I really did. My main worry is now that might not be the case unless we get these players back and get a grip. I don't want to be buying short term. Also, just picking up on Suter, I would not be buying Suter to after the 26th of January. I'd be making sure Big Suter's playing against Celtic first,
they're
and then pull them after that. You know what I mean?
To be fair, I never thought about that. Right, that's a really good point. Right, I know that the Hearts fans have turned against him. I really don't care. If he could score in days of turn at the games at Tynecastle, is it? Yeah. If he could score in days of turn at Tynecastle and then sign him, that would be a great move. I agree with that. I never really thought of that. I'm saying bring him in right away. I mean, that's a good point.
After tonight, our most difficult away game on paper, after Parkhead, is Aberdeen away. Their most difficult away game on paper after Tynecastle, after Ibrox, is Tynecastle. So we'll see. We're playing Livingston at home next Wednesday. They're playing Hearts away. We'll see where we are.
There's no ifs and buts about it. Them playing Hibs at Parkhead and us playing Aberdeen away to Pittodrie, which is our second biggest game in the calendar. It's like chalk and cheese. There's no comparison.
They're playing against it's Celtic against Diet Tim's. Do you know what I mean? It's just I watched a bit of the game. I turned it off after about 5 minutes. But
I can't watch them.
I turned it on because I had the Sky News on, and then it went Hibs should have scored. So I put it on, and as soon as they said Sky, but it is what it is. The bottom line is we should have beat Aberdeen tonight. Did we deserve to beat them? No, I don't think we did.
No, I don't. I think we were lucky to get the draw. If I have to be honest with you, lads, if you got to call a spade, I think we done well to hold it for the draw. I also do think that when we went down to 10 men, there was absolutely no danger we could win that game, which kind of worries me.
I agree 100%. Aye.
You get Morelos' chance, which was a wonder save. I'll give the boy that. Listen, you're going to be a bit negative. You're going to be a wee bit teed off. We've got 3 weeks of football. We would have murdered Aberdeen when we were due to get them. I definitely think that before the break, and we'd have done Celtic. Once again, Celtic have had another massive turn through things that, it's went in their favour. COVID twice now. Unfortunately, players who didn't play for the club but had an association with them years ago, passing away on the park, and then again getting cancelled everybody, and then they went on to win the league that year. It's just, I'm sure but I can't remember us having turns like that, especially when we were playing in UEFA Cup, when we're trying to get games extended and things like that. We did
cover that.
We covered that couple weeks ago. Because you need to remember, right? We're talking about sporting integrity. We're talking about things that are fair in life, and right. One of the reasons I love being a Rangers supporter is, as my dad was teaching me about it, and my family and everybody else, is there's certain ways. There's certain rules to be a Rangers fan and what we believe in and things like that. I mean, if Rangers went down that road, I'm not going to get down the road about they're go to court with and all that, right? But if that was your team that you were supporting for that instance for one, you wouldn't support them anymore. But the scenario where when we were going to the UEFA Cup final and they imaginarily make a game up, a tournament up in Japan that they never played in.
Yeah.
That's shameful. That is shameful.
I know. I forget all that stuff, do you know what I mean? Because it just goes at your mind. Because they do it all the time. We've had back doors into Europe and everything.
But what I mean is, but my point is that if Rangers...
Celtic like a back door, so excuse that.
Their philosophy and my concern, my opinion is that they'll win at all costs. They don't care how
they win. They don't care what level they go.
They don't care how low they have to stoop. Look at tonight. I go back to Scott Brown. He'll be hailed tomorrow in the media, the mainstream media as a guy. They'll call it a clever player.
Is it not a sad indictment on us that we're still falling for that shite? Do you know what I mean? Excuse the language. Do you know what I mean? If we're still,
Again, that's what I was saying earlier on, right? See when we brought Van Bronckhorst in, there was comments about bringing a Scottish influence in to say, listen, Brown's going to do this, that's what he's going to do the whole game, he's going to try and get Morelos
Right.
sent off. When Brown's not doing it, they'll get another player to do it, and they've done that the whole game, right?
Yeah.
But you're expecting, and I'm not a massive fan of
Something
Neil
like
McCann,
Thompson,
but
Kevin Thompson or something in the backroom staff.
Kevin
He's a cool-
Thompson.
Do you know what I mean?
somebody to say, listen, that's what they're going to do, be aware they're going to do
Aye.
that, and that's the game plan. And we didn't have that tonight, we looked
Yeah.
shell-shocked, we weren't expecting that to happen. I was, you were,
Yeah.
Gordon was, the Rangers
we were,
fans at
and,
the game were. So
everyone
why was the
expects
management
it.
not aware of that?
And it seems to happen.
Guys-
It seems to happen quite a lot as well. Like under
Yeah, I
Gerrard, it
know.
happened quite a lot under Gerrard. It seems.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not. I mean, let's get.
Guys, I
Let's
could put
not
my
get
mortgage
panicked.
on Aberdeen next league game, broken points.
Oh, I-
Always happens, doesn't
That's
it?
exactly
You know
what I
I
was
mean?
thinking when I was watching the game. I said
Yeah.
they'll get beat next week, and their stadium will be empty.
Oh, and I know there's other guys like to come on, but I will just say, guys, it's not by no disrespecting the team we've got on Friday, but it's imperative on Wednesday coming that we go in that
Oh, aye.
park at Ibrox and blow that team away. We
Yeah.
cannot make any other mistakes now. Do you know what I mean? Up until we get to Parkhead, we get a draw, you know, half happy. We get a win, put them firmly back in their box. That will shatter them, by the way, absolutely shatter,
Yeah.
because they are
Cool.
convinced
Yeah.
that they're going to win the league. You know what I mean? They're convinced.
Yeah, but they've had a lot of decisions went their way in the last couple of months to influence that, but we're still top of the league. We're 4 points clear. Let's
Yeah.
remember that, do you know what I mean? Let's stay positive. A lot of great points.
let's put them back in the box, boys. Listen, have a good night. It's lovely talking
Thanks,
to you.
great
for
call,
taking my
call
name.
again.
Cheers,
Alright,
brilliant.
just take my name for the future, guys, alright?
What was your
Well,
name? I'm sorry, but
George.
It's George Wright.
George, right, just so I can save your name. Brilliant, thanks.
Okay, George. Have a good night, mate.
See you later,
Enjoy.
Gordon. See
Take
you
care.
Cheers,
All the
thanks.
best.
Cheers,
See you
mate.
other people.
Bye bye.
Yes, we are the people. That was a good call. I need CV too. Once
Yeah,
it's
guys,
Lawrence.
what good calls tonight. It's good to hear new voices as well, so thanks very much. I know we keep going on about it, we will do it less and less as it gets more popular, but remember, have a look at our website, www.thegers.tv. It's still in its infancy, still getting built up, so we will add more content to it. Again, we are looking for people to help support us by joining our Patreon, and
The things we're looking for people to join the page. Another thing, see if you've got any kind of talent that you can do online or anything like that, and you want to get involved and help us, let us know.
yeah, if you want to write matters reports, or you know, you want to put up content articles, if you know about, you know, Rangers fans across the world that you want to support.
I might sound like a silly one, but the ladies team, I've been trying to get involved with that wee bit. I don't have a lot of time, and well, I spent 3 weeks trying to do that website. I didn't know how to make a website, so before Andy slags it, but I'm learning how to do it, and we're trying to improve the channel at all times. We've secured a lot of events coming up, as I say, we're going to be promoting soon, and we're going to be trying to take the Rangers story to further out to the world again, and we'll also the charity stuff. It was really hard work doing stuff for the sick kids, but it was well worth doing it. So it shows you the Rangers family are behind us. But what we're trying to do is influence people know to. You still get Rangers fans that buy these papers, and they're not going to ever be Rangers orientated. They're never going to be Rangers type media. So whatever channel you're watching, whatever Rangers podcast or whatever media that you're watching that involves Rangers Football Club, we support that. Sometimes some of the guys like the Ibrox Radio boys Rangers Radio, they're on just now at the same time as us, so watch them after it if you get a chance, and if you're watching them, if you're watching us after them, whatever, that's great, but support each other and stick together. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely, because we are a family, and you know, maybe different podcasts, different YouTube, different Facebook channels doing things, but at the end of the day, we're all Rangers fans, and we are one family, and we want to see everyone do well. We're obviously biased for the Gers TV a little bit,
of course.
we want to see everyone do well, so if there's anyone you can support, including ourselves, please do.
I'll just stick the links up again for anybody that's interested. Here's the details on it.
We've
got our new webs, so that's there's a Patreon first. I'll just keep on to it here. So the Patreon's basically a membership that you can get involved with the Gers TV. If you've ever sent stars, we thank you for sending them, but the stars were going to the Facebook site and not to us, and we weren't getting anything for it. This will help us maintain the channel, make it better. We're looking to upgrade the computer system completely. We're looking to do better videos, more videos, and we're looking to get more involved with the Rangers story. So that's why we've got the Patreon up there. It'll give you a lot of benefits as well. Most importantly, anything that we do, you'll be involved in before anybody else as a membership scheme. So that's the Patreon. I'll quickly put the website up if I can see it. I'm there since I had 45, my site's starting to get Terrible.
Don't look at the
I
old
got
man.
eye surgery with 20 years ago.
I'm sure you said me earlier you were 46, eh?
46, I said 46. I got eye surgery 20 years ago, and I remember when the woman was cutting my eye open, Danish woman, and she said to me, I asked her what the burning smell was. She went, I've opened your eye up. Nearly fainted, but I couldn't because she'd tied me up. It's the only time a Danish woman tied me up.
I was going to say
but I could actually smell my burning anyway. When I was getting the surgery done, she went, and by the way, when you hit 45, 46, you'll need glasses again. And she's right. Women are always right. So I'm starting to need them, I think. Anyway, that's the website, www.thegers.tv.
Guys, if anyone wants to help us with the website and make a contribution, then let us know, because we're not, we do what we can, but we're not experts. I know I'm not certainly an expert.
It's all about the fans, so if any fans want to get involved, we'll be looking for their support at any time. If you've any projects coming up, let us know as well. Anybody that does subscribe, the first 100 people to subscribe to the Patreon will get this picture. It's a cracker, it's Bill Struth. If you're into the old Rangers historical stuff,
and I've never, and obviously
it's the first time anybody had seen it, anybody that I know.
Never ever seen that picture before, and it's an absolutely fantastic print. So
Bill Struth in his military years at Rangers.
Yep.
So that's that, guys. Somebody's want to call, you get 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going for another few minutes. Let's get one more call in before we go for the night. But again, we'll go through some of the comments.
Colin Richards made a point here. Now I'm going to be honest, I never like to be two-faced on things, right? I've got a bar here, and I went to the bar to grab some beers, and I missed the incident, but Gordon seen it. Hayes should have been sent off with the elbow. Bonner twice in the face. Who made this point?
Johnny Hayes, he definitely. Now, it's one of these things where they're going for the ball, right? So you never know. Like, you can't put yourself in the head of somebody else, right? So yeah, it probably was deliberate, and the second one seemed more deliberate than the first one anyway, right? But what I would say is, so then fast forward about 20 seconds, the ref gives a free kick to Aberdeen, and the ref and the linesman don't see anything as always. They then let play continue. The ref blows for a foul for Aberdeen deep in injury time, about maybe 30-40 yards away from our box. They get a cross in. The camera pans to Barisic. You see his face literally full of blood. So. Yeah. I mean, what's caused that?
What's caused that?
What I mean? You've literally just had, two guys out in the wing with challenges. You see Barisic go down, for a few seconds. He's obviously motioning and letting the referee know what's happened. The referee says play on. Aberdeen get a free kick. A few seconds later, our player's full of blood. Where's that come from? And instead of go back or talking to the linesman, the referee tells Barisic to go off and get his blood sorted, which means we're a player down for the resulting free kick.
Because obviously there was definitely contact.
So
the other thing I was going to say on it, as I said, I didn't see that instance, so I don't like commenting something you missed. Like that Chris Kamara one.
Chris Kamara. Guys, we don't want to promote other things, but if you ever get we shouldn't say this, right, but if you ever get a chance, after we're finished obviously, look up Chris Kamara as I think it's Portsmouth game, and it was Jeff Sterling says, what's happened? It's not been sent off, and Chris Kamara says, I don't know, Jeff. That's right. That is
classy. But I don't want to do that. I did miss it, so I wasn't sure. But what I was going to say on that was, just on the point, Johnny Hayes, before that incident, was involved in more than one. At the time, I was thinking he was lucky to stay on the park. I didn't see the elbows and all that. So if he's done that clearly on sight television, after the incidents he had done, because he was trying to get a few of the players sent off, then I would be very surprised. But obviously, it did happen. So
and what's happened is the commentator's picked up on it as well. Stephen Glass, Aberdeen manager, has moved Johnny Hayes to the other side of the park to get Kent sent off. Now it just so happens that it was Brown that done it, but they've noticed that he's on a yellow card, and again that's up to us to why is the manager not moving Kent to the other side of the park?
Yeah, aye, that's a good point. Lindsay's saying here she's seen that, but as I said, I missed that point. He elbowed Barisic's, ref did nothing, then penalised Rangers by sending him off for visible blood that apparently came from
exactly. That's the point I'm making.
Again, I missed it. Right. Lindsay, great point, but I missed it myself. So what I was saying there is, if everybody's seen that on television, surely somebody, the compliance officer, surely somebody at Rangers, bear in mind Rangers are still to make a statement. I've been calling for them to make a statement for 3 weeks now about the farce that took place recently with the games being cancelled, but surely somebody at Rangers, I know we've got a PR man that doesn't do any PR work, but surely the PR man is watching that and is going to come out and say, why is that on television and why is there nothing being done?
And it's, I hate using this phrase, but it's a health, it's a safety issue. I mean, you've got a guy that it's not just once, he's literally been elbowed twice.
Aye.
And irrespective of whether it's deliberate or not, you know, I think the second one looked more to me anyway. The second one looked more deliberate than the first one, but it's a double elbow, and you know the player goes down. You stop the game. You let the player get treatment.
100%. Yep.
And then your game carries on. But then you're right, Lindsay. I mean, the blood if I'm the referee, and that's, you know, it doesn't matter who the player is, who he's playing for. If he's motioned to see he's been elbowed twice, and then 30 seconds later his face is full of blood, then I think I'm going to be stupid as a referee and think myself I made a mistake here. But all he does is say Barry switch off unless I didn't take the free kick.
Did your pal Corey phone?
No. Well, it's funny because he gave us his last 3 digits and then somebody else phoned with the exact same number.
Aye, I did phone in before. So Corey, my apologies.
Corey, if you're still here, we'll take you as the last call. If you're still listening.
Aye, my apologies. But what happened then is I hadn't moved the screen down, so I didn't know you'd put the numbers up on it. There was that many people commenting at one time, so I apologise. But it would be good to get you on, mate. I don't have your number. I would phone you. He's even seen he's not seen Squid Games. It's actually Squid Games. It's quite a good film. Quite a good box set if you get a chance to watch it. It's on that. What do you call it? The Freeview. Netflix. Aye, my daughter's not into it.
Simon, I love when you talk about technology. What's that thing? It's on this thing and it's on the Freeview. It's on this thing. It's a programme.
Aye,
it's on the Freeview.
Anyway, I said that McGregor should have been sent off before we scored. That the guy lost the ball, but the guy lost the ball. That's not right, but the guy lost the ball. McGregor touched his sock.
It's not. See, it's not. I've watched the. You know, obviously the replay's been on quite a lot of times. I'm not just saying this because I'm biased for Rangers. I'm not. It's hard to actually.
I didn't see a lot of contact.
It's hard. It is hard to actually. You watch that on repeat. You watch it in slow motion. You watch it in. You know, as it's happening live. Yeah. It's hard to know what happened. You know, when I first seen it, looked like he punched it, and then
it looked like
maybe he's caught the player as well. But
it looked to me as if when the ball was away, the two of them collided.
Yes.
But at that point, the ball didn't seem to be in the screen.
Aye.
But it certainly wasn't deliberate. You could see that. I mean, William Wright said he hit his soap. It wasn't like an assault or anything like that. The two of them went for the ball.
Yeah, McGregor is clearly making an attempt to play the ball. The Aberdeen player, I forget who it was.
They're going the opposite directions.
Aye, and you know, it's
one of the ones that obviously looks a lot worse than it is, but the two of them are going in different directions. The two of them are trying to get the ball. I don't think any two of them clearly hit the ball.
And we'd be perfectly honest tonight, saying it's been a bad performance for Rangers. We didn't deserve to win, etc. So we're not biased in any way, shape or form. But with that particular incident, McGregor didn't go out, in my opinion, it's only my opinion, McGregor didn't go out his way to hit the player. He went in to win the ball, and there's been a collision in the split second after it, and that's it.
Aye, 100%. Scott Brown was maybe in the squad to kick the ball around, but the main reason he's on is to antagonise opposition at every chance he gets away with it. The problem with that, Marion, is I agree with you 100%, so what do you do about it? I know that. You live in Dallas, you know that. Why does our manager not know that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a good point. Why does the manager not know that Scott Brown is going to antagonise players?
Maybe they do. I don't know. You would like to think that they do know, because you know we see it. Everyone watching tonight.
Somebody must have been on that bus saying to them, on the team bus, Jimmy Better.
And it happened in the game at Ibrox.
Exactly.
Well.
Aye, I know. It wasn't Van Bronckhorst the manager at the time.
Aye, but it's the same players.
No, you're right. It's the same players, the same people.
And then I'll tell you one thing before we finish. Like, obviously we'll get maybe one more call to in, but you know, Tavernier is, for me, this is what annoys me. Tavernier is looking directly at Scott Brown when Scott Brown takes the mickey out of Ryan Kemper getting sent off.
I seen it.
Tavernier doesn't say anything, and you see Scott Brown doing his thing with his notepad as a joke, and he points at Kent, tells him to get off. You can see with the Tellerman pictures of Tavernier. Now, I don't want Tavernier to get sent off himself by rising to it, but you know, imagine that was Ian Ferguson or Terry Howard. Imagine the captain let's look at some of the captains. Imagine that was a Richard Gough, for example, that's seen that. Imagine it was, you know, your friend Terry Howard. Imagine it was an Ian Ferguson. Right?
You want a bit of passion, you need passion in the game.
And Tavernier just, you know, looks, and then after the game they're all laughing and joking.
Aye. And he's winding them up deliberately, knowing that he can do it. That's the problem.
It's frustrating.
Manny's made a great point. Should Scott Brown, so a quick one, Andy, should Scott Brown be cited for his behaviour after the Kent red card?
Yes, but
he should be, and Gordon's supposed to be made to it. He would be. This is the problem. This is why there was the refereeing stories about Rangers don't get penalties in yesterday's papers. This is why the media's when the media is dominated by Celtic and Celtic have got a great PR and Rangers don't have a PR. This is what happens. That's when people were laughing at us a few months ago when we were explaining this. When we don't have a PR, we don't have any attack on the media, and Celtic run the media and they've got their own PR. This is what happens when you put referees under pressure. So will Scott Brown be cited? No, I don't think so. I'd be very surprised.
So, guys, couple of last comments just to finish
Yep,
things off. I'll read out Michael one, you can read out Lindsay's, okay?
I get right one.
Well, can I say this as a joke?
There's ladies watching.
There's ladies watching, so we won't make any comments about Simon, the big one. So, Michael McGowan's saying Rangers and Aberdeen game are brilliant, they all love each other. So, Michael, I'm guessing that's a little bit of sarcasm, but you know, it's good to finish on a positive note with that.
As well, do you know what? Win, lose or draw will always be there. But come on, they said they come on, win or lose, and they could have lost that at the last minute. When it started buffering and it went to that corner kick, it was touching the cloth. Anyway, Lindsay Taylor, my last comment. She said that about 20 minutes ago. Tonight should be all fire and passion. Agreed. Our squad need to see how everyone hates us and get the figures out to bring the 56 home. Lindsay, what I'll say about that, as I've said this for the last 2 years, we need a passionate player in the team. We need somebody whose players are terrified of, somebody who is an Ian Ferguson type player. We need a leader. We need a proper captain. No taking it away from Tavernier, his ability. I know he's got the ability and he's got great goals. However, you need to have someone who is, when the chips are down, rallying the troops back together. We don't have that.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So absolutely fantastic comments. It's been really busy tonight, and this is the first time we've done a kind of before and after show with preview and reaction.
Normally it's just our Tuesday night show for them. There's no, but their Tuesday night show, it starts at 8 o'clock and it's normally on for about 2 hours. However, if there's a game on, what we'll do is, I don't know if I'm going to go to a lot of away games anymore this season in Scotland. I'm sick of the way that they've voted on behalf of Celtic and manipulated the system. So we'll probably do something like this again because it was a success.
Good shout, yeah. And just remember, guys, one more time, just a plug before we go. Again, we will do this less and less as it gets more popular, but remember, please have a look at our website, www.thegers.tv. William Wright, who said he lives in Vancouver Island, okay, so I meant to say that earlier in my comment, William. It makes me reminisce, okay, so love Vancouver, Vancouver's a great city.
William, you've just said to us, remember the Vancouver Roadshow. I don't know much about that, but listen, send us a private message later on and let us know what's going on out there.
Absolutely, so remember,
involved at some level.
Yeah, www.thegers.tv. If you want to get involved and help us and build the website and put some content on, please do. Please have a look at our Patreon, link on there as well. Yep. Again, the first 100 members will get an exclusive military picture, never been seen before, probably never seen again. And also we are going to be doing some fantastic exclusive events coming up, and anyone that joins our Patreon will get the first opportunity to buy tickets. And guys, trust us, the events we're going to do are going to be sold out in a second.
They'll probably be sold out in a couple of minutes, right? But we want to give the people that are loyal to the channel the first dibs on it. So okay. A few people saying about don't want to go to away games. I agree with that again. William, right, I know you're saying about make Vancouver Roadshow, that's what I'm saying. Contact us, and if there's something we can get involved in, we'd be interested, guys.
Absolutely.
It's been 2 shows tonight. It's been me, myself, Si Leslie.
Me, myself, Gordon Bond.
It's been fantastic. Win, lose or draw, you have to take it in the chin.
And always remember, we are
the people.
Good night.
We're still top of the league.
I have been lucky in those who were around me from the boardroom to the dressing room. In times of stress, their unstinted support, unbroken devotion to our club and calmness in adversity eased the task of making Rangers Football Club the premier club in this country. To be a Ranger is to sense the sacred trust of upholding all that such a name means in this shrine of football. They must be true in their conception of what the Ibrox tradition seeks from them. No true Ranger has ever failed in the tradition set him. Our very success, gained you will agree by skill, will draw more people than ever to see it, and that will benefit many more clubs than Rangers. Let the others come after us. We welcome the chase. It is healthy for us. We will never hide from it. Never fear, Inevitably, we shall have our years of failure, and when they arrive, we must reveal tolerance and sanity. No matter the days of anxiety that come our way, we shall emerge stronger because of the trials to be overcome. That has been the philosophy of the Rangers since the days of the gallant pioneers.